Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. So this is going to be a bit of a shorter one. So basically I'm just going to show you guys how to build an advanced coaster in Theme Park Tycoon 2. As you can see, I have a lot of them. And it shouldn't be that hard to do once you know what you're working with. First of all, I have to actually find a place to build it. So when you're building your coasters, you want an open area like this that has a long part where your coaster is going to go up and come back down. All roller coasters in this game have to loop. They can't end anywhere or they will explode and your park's star rating will go down. So the best roller coaster to use is the multi-launch coaster, but it is also extremely expensive. So if you don't have a lot of money, you might just want to go with a cheaper one, which I recommend the Wild Mouse coaster since it can also do a lot. But for the best advanced editor experience, use a multi-launch coaster and start it about 1 or 2 grid spaces away from the center of your area. Then use the basic editor to build about 4 stations. And if this is your first time using the advanced editor, I would recommend making the part that brings you up with the basic editor and then use the advanced editor later on. So once you're at the top, you can start work with the advanced editor. So switch to that tab and make sure the track feature is on normal. So now I'm basically going to show you guys what different things do. So the spherical manipulator, basically what you're going to be using to do most of the modifications to your track. Move spline node simply just kind of pulls it around so you can kind of tug at it and make it go in different directions. And the rotate mode just simply changes the banking of your track. So to start off, the red one moves it vertically and the green one moves it horizontally, and of course the blue one changes to banking, which is basically the roll of the track. If you ever mess up the direction and you want to reset the track's position, just switch from basic editor and back to advanced. And you also have this white arrow right here to extend the track. So I'm going to pull the red one down and pull out the white arrow to make a large drop like this. And then use the green one to turn it a bit. And then use the blue one to spin it back into an upright position. I can also use this reset button to put it straight up. There's also the auto smooth feature. By default, it's on full. Basically, what it does is it makes it so that you will move it in your own direction. Yaw pitch doesn't make many changes. However, off, what it will do is keep this straight when I move it up. So as you can see, instead of turning the track's direction entirely, it keeps it whatever way it was initially facing. The pivot offset just simply changes where the movement buttons are located, which I usually just keep at 0. To build a new part of your track, just simply press Q. You can also change the snap of your rotate or length, but usually just keeping it on default makes your coaster look a bit crazier. What I would recommend when building the coaster is just make it random. Don't go for a specific angling that you want on your roller coaster because it might end up looking a bit too flat. It might look like you used a basic editor. Instead, try to just do random things with the rotating settings, like randomly moving one down and moving it over a bit. This kind of gets your coaster to look a bit more, how do I say it, custom? It just makes it look less like it's a road and more like it's a fun ride. Also, I've made this mistake a lot. Since the roller coaster will be going very fast, you want to make your curves a lot longer because with this, it's going to zigzag through it very fast and not look as cool. So every time you're making a turn, try to extend it so that it kind of glides the coaster along. If you want to slow down the momentum, you can make a hill that goes straight up and then has a bit of a curve on top and then gradually comes back down. Because the less gradual the slope, the faster you're going to go. Because it's going to increase your momentum. Since unless you have the Ride Operations Game Pass, your track has friction. And the more the coaster goes along a track, the slower it's going to get because of the ride friction. And going uphill goes against gravity, meaning that it's also going to slow down. But when you have a giant slope going straight down, there's barely going to be any friction since gravity is pushing against the coaster. So it's going to negate all friction while gravity is being pushed on it. But if you make a more gradual slope, there's not as much gravity, so the friction can take part in keeping your roller coaster into a slower movement. You can also always reset your track into a straight position, and I forget which Game Pass it is, but one of them actually lets you use all the track features, so you can actually place some brakes if you need to. I've also made coasters in the past that have the booster power, which will basically make your ride go insanely fast. I believe it's the Ride Operations Game Pass. So once you feel like your coaster's been good enough, find where it originally started. You can always press this camera button to see where your player is. And have your coaster come to a slower point and angle it down towards the direction of the end. Oh, and also make sure to change the banking back into a default state. Eventually, once you get close enough, it will add this little snap option, where you can snap the coaster back to the station. Once you confirm that, it will actually put you back into your original camera position and end the editing part, and it's now going to prompt you to place your entrance and exit, and boom, your roller coaster is now done. Sometimes your coaster doesn't have enough momentum in certain parts, so you would want to test it. First though, I'm going to change the color of it a bit. So put it in the testing phase and get into one of the seats. And make sure to stay in third person for this part so that you can see exactly how much momentum your roller coaster has. If, however, you do have the Ride Operations Game Pass, before you put it in testing, you can actually change some of the operations. I usually like to max out the chain lift speed. That way your roller coaster will go up the chain lift much faster, which can actually increase some of the happiness ratings on your NPCs. So as you can see, my momentum isn't actually high enough to make it up this hill. Now what's going to happen is the roller coaster is going to head back down, going backwards now because it didn't make it up that hill. This is going to slowly slow down the roller coaster until it comes to a complete stop, which will explode it. If this happens with guests on it, or even when the coaster is just open in general, it will decrease your park's star rating. If this does happen, simply close the ride and edit it at the selected piece or the end, it doesn't really matter. Then just click the arrow until you find the spot where it was going too slow. And just replace these track pieces with chain lifts. Or if you can't do that, just simply make your ride have less hills and make sure that it gets more momentum from different spots. So now I'm going to test my ride one more time. And we can see that it now makes it over this hill. So that's it for this tutorial. It was a much shorter video than I usually do. I'll make sure to get a longer upload out to you guys next week. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like the video. And if you want to see more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button. I upload every Saturday before 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hit that notification bell if you'd like to see weekly uploads. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.